Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel. Thanks for logging on. Today we're discussing the Zenith class XXT El Primero complete calendar caliber 4010. You can see and you can purchase this complete calendar Moonphase high beat chronograph on our website. Subscribe to our YouTube channel if you enjoy these videos, and please click on the card in the upper right hand corner of the screen at any time during this video to see our full listing for this watch with high-res images, accessories included with the sale, and of course complete pricing information for this El Primero complete calendar chronograph. Now you can see on my wrist 6 1/3 inches, 16 centimeters in circumference. The great thing about the El Primero is that it's a movement, and those who want to love it are going to have a lot of chances to find the one that sings to them, because it comes in many, not just complication variations, but cases of sizes, shapes, and characters. And this one is certainly large and contemporary, but of a formal aesthetic. Now you can see it's an interesting combination, both oversized and formal. 44 millimeters across the rounded case, that is from 9 o'clock to 3, not inclusive of the crown or the chronograph pushers. You'll also note that it's reasonably slim, 14.5, but it wears even thinner thanks to the triple step of the case flank, the bezel, and the domed sapphire. It's actually fairly easy to slide a dress cuff over this one. This is not a watch that's going to get your suit hung up. Now from lug to lug it's 51 millimeters, which is actually pretty reasonable for a 44 millimeter watch, as they tend to span broader than that, meaning that this watch could still be worn on a wrist even smaller than mine. I would say perhaps 14.5 to 15 centimeters in circumference is the lower limit for this size and this model. Now the strap is of excellent quality. You can see it's dramatically bolstered. It is very substantial. There's a lot of leather here, and it's beautifully bolstered. Now it's a sort of matte finish, rectangular scale alligator leather. It's exceptionally dark, evenly stitched, beautifully made, and again, in the hand, it just feels so substantial, like a swatch of an upscale leather jacket. Very impressive, nicely matched to the watch, and in conjunction with a double deployant Zenith clasp, and I'll show you that in action, it gives you security on the wrist. Again, a premium watch with the deployant, once buckled, is incredibly hard to drop while donning or taking off. So in addition to being an upscale feature, it's also a security feature. And again, that double fold deployant, as I like to say, is a little bit easier to work with on a small wrist. When you're cranked down to the smallest holes on the strap, you're less likely to choke your wrist with a double deployant. Now the watch itself features a handsome case, all of high polish. The strongest character lines do come in that triple step of the bezel, but the bezel has been sort of marginalized. It's been drawn out and minimized so that the dial takes center stage, and the dial's been pushed out as much as possible. So there's a lot of open real estate on this dial, but Zenith has a few tricks up its sleeve to differentiate the different planes of it. Outermost, you can see there is a beaded track outboard of the chronograph seconds and the hour track. Now moving inboard, you can see the black hashes of the seconds track giving way to a smooth, beautifully frosted hour track with applied and polished Arabic numerals. Now the center dial features the sub-registers. They have a gorgeous rayon or sunburst deep guilloche cut within each of their registers, and then the tracks featuring the calibrations are brushed metal. Likewise, surrounded by a clou de Paris cut, exceptionally handsome. You can see there's a Zenith marquee and Zenith star at 12, and just beneath, frames for the apertures showing the day and the month. There is a moon phase at 6 o'clock, and a step to the date window means that there's a progressive drop from the plane of the dial down to the date disc. It's quite well treated. Perhaps the only aesthetic Achilles heel here is that the case is so much larger than the movement, so you wind up with a very focused center dial and a broad hour track. But to some, that'll be the appeal. The watch is very simple and uncrowded about its dial. Now turning the case over, you can see there are vintage style olive-shaped chronograph pushers, neither rectangular nor round, but a handsome form and vintage evocative, which one might say is the guiding idea behind this watch. It's not a retro watch, but it's a large modern dress piece that references aesthetic cues of classical dress watches. Now on the case back, Zenith's 31 jewel, it's the 10 beat per second, 5 hertz El Primero caliber 4010. Now, it beats away at that classic double time cadence. You put it up against your ear, it has a different heartbeat than a conventional chronograph. Again, it's because of that 36,000 vibration per hour beat rate. 52-hour power reserve. It does feature fine and precise column wheel actuation, and you can see the column wheel on the movement as you wheel it around. In fact, this is where the advantage of the larger case really makes itself felt, because you have a completely unobstructed view of the El Primero caliber. It's easier to gain visual access to its inner workings, and it's well revealed by this expansive caseback vista, to the point where you can see its unique finishing quirks, the combination of polished and blued screws, the polished screws indicating assembly, the blued screws indicating watchmaker adjustment points. You can see the use of perlage on bridges as opposed to the base plate. Again, a distinctive finishing trait unique to Zenith. You can see the gorgeous guilloche pattern on the winding mass, exceptionally handsome. The El Primero is not just a classic, it's not just a standard of reference in the chronograph class, it's also one of the handsomest chronograph calibers to enjoy aesthetically. So regardless of which side you pick, this is a handsome and traditional watch. It has the added benefit of the ultimate day, date, month, moon phase everyday complication, in combination with a chronograph, and size that will never be dwarfed by a wrist of any proportions. You can see it and you can purchase it on our website.